Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Top 10 Songs. Today we're going to tackle my favorite 10 tracks and a bunch of honorable mentions from a band that many of you have asked for over the last few months. Of course, I'm talking about the Eagles, or Eagles, as they are commonly known as, a band that I like quite a bit. I've been listening to the Eagles since I was, about this big. Not a lot of albums, but a lot of great songs and so many radio hits and best of hit collection type tracks. Songs that they would always play live that you would expect them to play live, but a band that's got a lot of great deep album cuts, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the countdown starting at number 10 all the way to number 1, then I'll do some honorable mentions, then I'll wrap the whole thing up. So let's start with coming in at number 10 for me. I'm going to go to the Long Run album, and I'm going to pick the title track, The Long Run. A very cool song, kind of like good upbeat song, nice slide guitar from, I'm assuming it's Joe Walsh playing the slide guitar on that. Catchy, good rockin' tune. That album is kind of like one of their more rockin' albums. The last album before the long breakup, right? But a good album. I remember buying that when it came out. I dug it quite a bit. I know most people felt it was kind of like a come down from Hotel California, but a very solid album filled with a lot of really strong tracks. That particular one's going to come in at number 10 for me. All right, so coming in at number 9, we're going to go back to the Desperado album. How about the title track to that album? What a great song that is, huh? That's like one of those great emotional kind of heart-tugging ballads, right? Just a great vocal on that from Don Henley. So well written. It's understated, but it's like, it just works, right? Just total classic, totally works. From a very underrated album, I think. I know most people who follow the band kind of cite that as one of their early classics, but you don't get a lot of casual people who talk about the Desperado album. A lot of great songs on that album, okay? It's more of kind of like a country rock type album, but there's a couple good rockers on there, and I think it's a very strong album. Coming in at number 8, we're going to go to the Hotel California album. How about that lengthy epic to end it all off, huh? The Last Resort. Another really, really fine song that's just kind of moody and has some great vocal harmonies. I mean, Don Henley knocks it out of the park on that one. Just always liked the way that song was kind of put together. The arrangements are just gorgeous. Really, really, really fine tune. Again, one of those songs from a very popular album that people don't talk about enough, I don't think. Coming in at number 7, let's go all the way back. All the way back to the first album, Witchy Woman. All right. Love the kind of gritty guitar licks on that one, from Bernie Leadon and Glenn Frey. Good song. It's just got this kind of like gritty Western rockin' kind of vibe to it, right? It's very moody though. Very cool tune. Coming in at number 6, how about the title track to the On the Border album? That's a really good record too. That's just the first first album where you got Don Felder making a statement, right? This first official album with the band, and his guitar work is all over that album, and I dig his guitar playing on that particular track. On the Border, a great kind of rocking song from that album. Love it. Coming in at number 5, we're going to go back to Hotel California for Victim of Love. All right. Again, you got to love when the Eagles brought in a new guitar player. That guy always made his stamp on that first album he appeared on. So, with On the Border, you had Don Felder. He's also on board for Hotel California, and in comes Joe Walsh, and his stamp is all over a lot of those tunes, and especially Victim of Love. Killer rockin' tune from that album. Coming in at number 4, we're going to go back to the On the Border album. How about My Beloved Already Gone? Nice, fast-paced rocker with lots of sizzling lead guitar solos. Great vocal from Glenn Frey. A lot of great backing vocals. Just a really good, up-tempo, fun party rocker from the band. Totally dig it. Always love that. All right, the top 3. Top 3 all classics. Coming in at number 3, back to Hotel California for Life in the Fast Lane. Great lick from Joe Walsh, right? It's a good, hard rock tune. These guys, they didn't do a lot of really, really rocking stuff, but when they did, very good. I mean, you got a lot of capable players in that band, right? just the whole band, just virtuosos, and got all these great singers and great instrumentalists, just and Life in the Fast Lane. I mean, come on, just a really, really cool tune. Yeah, a little overplayed, get it, but a lot of the Eagles songs are a little overplayed, but you can't deny the genius of them, including my number two. Sometimes with these songs that are like uber legendary, there are some occasions where a classic song that's like overplayed to death, you tend to resent years down the road because it's so overplayed that you just, oh my God, you lose track of just how great some of these songs really are. Hotel California potentially could have been that way with me, because there are other songs out there, the great songs that are just overplayed, that over time you kind of like less because they're so overplayed. But Hotel California for me is such a genius track. All right, Hotel California is not your typical kind of radio rock song. All right, it's lengthy. It's got the long guitar solos. Right, it's got it's moody. All right, it's just a perfect composition. Yeah, we've all heard it way too much. But kind of like, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Just such a unique song that you can't help but, love it for what it is. Right? So Hotel California is going to come in number 2 for me. Again, I don't need to hear it much more than once or twice a year. But it's still, when I do hear it, I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty damn good song, right? So that's coming in number 2. Number 1 for me is always been my favorite Eagles song. And it was somewhat of a hit for them, but I just think I love their kind of moody, I don't even know how you call it. For me, just some of the most, the Eagles stuff that I like the best is their kind of like moodier pieces. And this is kind of a rock song. It's got a cool kind of funky lick. The guitar solo by Don Felder is just absolutely sublime. I'm talking about One of These Nights. Great vocal by Don Henley. Love the backing vocals on this track. These guys had some of the best vocal harmonies in the business over the years. And One of These Nights for me has always been my favorite Eagles song. Absolutely fantastic. So there you have my top 10. Let's look at some honorable mentions, right? Okay, so let's go back to the first album, Take the Devil. Got to throw Take It Easy in there, Chug All Night, and Tryin'. That's cool. Good rockin' tunes on that first album, right? Let's go to Desperado. How about Bitter Creek? Very cool song. Out of Control, Duel and Dalton. Duel and Dalton is pretty gorgeous, right? Outlaw Man, kind of rockin'. All right, from, let's see, On the Border. How about Midnight Flyer, James Dean, the gorgeous Old 55. I really wanted to squeeze that into my top 10. Old 55 is a great song. Great hook on that. Just awesome. Good Day in Hell, another cool rockin' track. And, of course, Best of My Love. Great single right there. What else? Let's go to One of These Nights. How about Too Many Hands? How about the great kind of bluegrass instrumental Journey of the Sorcerer? All right, fantastic song. A lot of great guitar textures on there, and you got the mandolin, the banjo, all sorts of wacky stuff going on there. Excellent. Lion Eyes, of course. Take It to the Limit, of course. After the Thrill Is Gone. These are all great kind of pop songs, country rock songs, whatever you want to call them. Let's see. Let's go to Hotel California, New Kid in Town. All right. That's classic. Wasted Time, another gorgeous song from that album. And from the Long Run album, how about In the City? Good rocker. I Can't Tell You Why I've always had a soft spot for. Timothy B. Schmidt, what a fantastic vocal performance on that. Wanted to include that in my top 10 as well. Love that as well. Those Shoes, good rockin' tune. Gotta love the talk box on there from Joe Walsh. Excellent. Heartache Tonight, of course, gotta include that. So there you have some honorable mentions. I didn't include anything from their very last studio album, which seems like it came out a million years ago. Not a big fan of that album. For me, there's not a lot of really memorable stuff on there, although not a terrible album, but didn't even want to go there. Way too many songs. Way too many songs. Let's recap my top 10. Coming in number 1, One of These Nights. Coming in number 2, Hotel California. Number 3, Life in the Fast Lane. Number 4, Already Gone. Number 5, Victim of Love. Number 6, On the Border. Number 7, Witchy Woman. Number 8, The Last Resort. Number 9, Desperado. And number 10, The Long Run. There you have my top 10 plus some honorable mentions for the Eagles. Curious to see which songs you guys dig, right? So put down in the comments and feedback your top 10, your top 5, however you want to do it, right? Remember, there's no right or wrong answer here. We all like what we like. We all hear what we hear. So Curious to see what you think. All right, so visit us also on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on the mighty YouTube all the damn time. So we'll see you guys tomorrow and the rest of this week with more stuff. Lots of cool things coming up, so you don't want to miss any of it. Make sure you subscribe. If you've stumbled upon this channel, hit that subscribe button, right? We got lots of great content if you love classic rock, hard rock, all forms of heavy metal, right? Progressive metal, power metal, thrash metal, death metal, black metal. We do it all, right? Progressive rock, tons of prog rock going on here, jazz fusion, a lot of cool stuff here. So if you like all those musics and you know, or musical styles, and you love music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and you know, up to today, I try to cover all sorts of classic and newer stuff. So you don't want to miss any of it. We'll see you real soon. All right, take care. Bye bye.